Good morning and welcome to the Bowls North Harbour New Zealand Masters here on finals day in glorious sunny conditions in Auckland. This is Kevin Hickland and I'll be bringing you the coverage right throughout the day of the finals. We've already had the finals of the mixed pairs that have been completed, and I'll give you the update of that result shortly. And the game we're going to concentrate out in front of us now is the 75 and men over men's pairs, that between Bob Howard of Arrowtown playing with North Harbour player Murray Matheson, and they're up against Murray Radorgovich and Barry McChrystal of Mairangi Bay. The trial ends have been played at present, and also of course is the men's pairs of the other age group, the 60 to 74 age group, and also we have got the women's pairs, the 60 to 75 women's pairs final. That also is out in front of us, and I'll give you updates of those throughout the progress of this game this morning. 12 ends they play here in this final. Absolutely idyllic conditions here in Auckland, and it's our pleasure, of course, to bring you this coverage of this new and innovative event, Bowls North Harbour, and a perfect green as well, just ideal conditions. The flag out in front of me, the New Zealand flag and the North Harbour flag, just picking up a slight bit of breeze. The green today, they're playing west to east, so they're playing right out in front of us here. 12 ends in this men's pairs final, and this afternoon we'll be bringing you the women's fours final, and I can tell you that I'll have with me, having a chat with me throughout that, very, very interesting character, that of Bob Howard, one of the doyens of sports coverage in New Zealand, the author of many books, and certainly known as one of the doyens of the New Zealand journalism, now retired and living down in Arrowtown. So Bob Howard will spend some time with me in the commentary box here this afternoon. So play is shortly to get underway in this feature match between Barry McChrystal and Murray Radorgovich, playing together up against Bob Howard and Murray Matheson. So really all actually were North Harbour players. Bob Howard, of course, as I say, moved to Arrowtown. They're just coming to the completion of their trial ends out here in this finely manicured green. Our big thank you to Ryman Healthcare. Ryman Healthcare is such a great supporter of bowls right around the country, and certainly really a good supporter of not only Bowls New Zealand but also Bowls North Harbour and this particular event. So a big thank you to Ryman Healthcare for their continued support of the game, of our game. Now just waiting here now, Bob Howard playing what looks to be his last bowl, and Murray Radorgovich will play his last bowl, and of course lead for Murray Radorgovich has got the mat, and he will deliver the jack. Green nicely marked out by Brendan Kelly, the greenkeeper, and the jack's been delivered. We just want to make sure that there's plenty of gap so that we can see down towards the head. The jack's been delivered down to what I'd say the 3/4 length mark. See that white line there where they'll move the jack across now, across to that centre line. 12 ends this final, as we see Barry McChrystal on the mat. Playing down on his backhand. Not sure at this point what speed the green is running at. And we'll see the reply from Murray Matheson, the lead for Bob Howard, also on his backhand. Stands very wide across the mat, and it's on its way now on the backhand down towards the sea or eastern end here at the Birkenhead Bowling Club. Looks as if it's going to just pull on the narrow side slightly. Just got to get past the front bowl to make shot, and does. So it's a shot there from Murray Matheson, the lead. Barry McChrystal from Mairangi Bay quickly into his work, also on the backhand in the white shorts and the Mairangi Bay shirt.
You can see the shot. Thank you.
Just now going past the jack, will come back to the centre line by about a metre. over the
Here's
head
other
with
side,
the
good side.
Howitt-Matheson combination, holding shot. So we see Murray Matheson now on his second bowl of this, the first end of 12, playing down on his backhand. Bob Howard, of course, a former media man for Bowls New Zealand. Very avid bowler. Good bowl here from Matheson, breaking in towards the head. Just going to sit slightly jack low, just under half a metre lower the jack. That'll be 2 shots to Howard and Matheson. So McChrystal again on his backhand in this final of this Piers of the men's 75 and over. Looks to be on a good line here. This bowl of McChrystal's just going to run into the what is the shot bowl. So now that we'll see Murray Matheson. Now he'll continue down on that same line. Indicated Bob Howard definitely holding 2 shots as Murray Matheson, a well-performed player over here in the North Harbour, plays down on his backhand on that wider line. How fast is going to come back to the centre line? Murray Radojkovic is giving this bowler clap as it breaks down towards their heads. Going to sit jack level for shot itself. 3 very good opening bowls by Matheson, the lead. And as I say, the other games are being played, other finals are being played here as well in front of us, and we'll keep you up to date of those as well. It's been the men's and women's 60 to 74 men's Piers. As we see so here's the first bowl of Murray Radojkovic, a good opening bowl, just going to sit outside the shot bowl. Just got the outside, not the inside, and just slip past. Holding 3. So here's Howard now playing his first bowl on this, the first end. This is a good bowl as well. This gets a clap from Murray Matheson. That sits alongside the jack. That's 4 without any doubt. So here's the second bowl of Murray Radojkovic, which is going to run under the line, and it has. So here now is Howard on his backhand, definitely holding 4 shots. The second bolt looks to be on a slightly wider line. It's got good weight. This also is going to count. It's definitely 5 shots. So the last bolt here on this very first end of Murray Radojkovic playing his last bowl. He's definitely 5 down. Here he is on the backhand, trying to draw to save. Murray Matheson watching this as bowl as it breaks towards the head. We'll see in a moment when Murray Matheson moves what the outcome is. Nestles in amongst the counting bowls and has cut that down to 1 shot. Superb bowl there by the skip from the Mairangi Bay combination. Definitely 5 down. Bob Howard will try and make contact onto that bowl, turn it over. He could turn it into numbers. It looks as though it's breaking down towards coming towards the head now. It looks as though it's just going to dip underneath the line, and it will. And there's the indication from Matheson that it is just the 1. So it's the first end. And of course, Bob Howard in his earlier days did play here, of course, at the North Harbour in North Harbour. So the men's final of the 60 to 74 men's Piers final is also underway, and that sees the combination of Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden up against Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas from down the deep south, down the Queenstown area, down in Cromwell, round through there. And of course Drake combined this morning, and he defeated Peter Bellis in the final of the mixed pairs. So another final here is Trevor Drake, and I'll give you the women's update in but a moment of what's going on there as well. And we've got Lindley O'Callaghan the deep south is certainly dominating here today, because in the women's as well, they're in the final of the women's 60 to 70 age group final as well. So the jack's been delivered, and the first bowl's been played here on this, the first end. And of course, later on this afternoon, we will have the final of the women's fours, and at the same time, of course, the men's fours will also be played as well. So jack's been delivered a short bowl, opening bowl there, and we see now Matheson again playing east to west, and his first bowl sits just in behind the jack. Here it is on the forehand, the Mairangi Bay player playing with Bob Howard, the North Harbour combination, and it breaks down towards the head now. Another really great bowl there from the lead, from the Bob Howard lead, sits right in behind the jack, and Murray Radojevic down to Barry Crystal, follow that bowl up on the draw. He was a metre short with his first bowl, and here's the second bowl. This looks a better line bowl. This breaking towards the head now. Is it going to come back all the way? Sits jack level, just under, only a couple of feet away, and will be second shot. And in the women's pairs final of the 60 to 74 age group, we've got Lindy O'Callaghan and Christine Buchanan. They're up again. They're from, of course, down the south, the Queenstown area as well. Very well performed combination, and they're playing the North Harbour combination of Judith Seeger and Lynn East. And that final, that's out in front of us now. Another good bowl there from Murray Matheson, Bob Howard lead. Murray Radojevic saying to his lead, Barry McChrystal, play with confidence, play up to where the counting bowl is. He's doing that on his forehand. Looks it's going to be on the narrow side. He's certainly playing with reaching weight. Ran into what was his own short bowl, and we'll see how far that moved in towards the head. Definitely got a touch on it and moved it towards the head. And as the camera gets up to the head angle, we'll be able to tell you exactly what the position is. It was 1 to the Howard-Matheson combination as the skips change over. And in the men's pairs, I can tell you it's Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas who have jumped out. They're a 1-0 lead over Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden. And in the women's pairs, it is 1-0 to Judith Seeger and Len East over Lindy O'Callaghan and Christine Buchanan. So there you can see the head. More than likely now, 2 shots to the North Harbour, the composite combination of Howard and Matheson. Matheson the lead, Howard skipping. So Bob Howard first bowl on this, the second end of 12, is on its way, and just what pulls up just low of the wide of the jack, in fact. So here now is Murray Radojevic playing his first bowl on the second end, on the forehand, trying to reach up to where the shot bowl is. Looks as though he's going to run narrow, and he did. He ran narrow under the head. In fact, ran right to the ditch. Still 2 shots to the Matheson-Howard combination with very, very good lead bowls coming from their lead, Murray Matheson. And Murray Matheson just obscures my view for but a moment, but the Howard bowl is going to go by on the wide side, and it is. It's just out past the jack on the wide side, so I'm sure we'll see now Murray Radojevic playing with that reaching weight again on the forehand, trying to get up to the shot bowl. It's on its way. I just question, how's that weight now as it's breaking in towards the head, just going to go by on the wide side. Here's now Bob Howard, who'll play his third and last bowl of the second end. And holding the shot is the Matheson-Howard combination, in fact holding 2. as we come now to the end of the second of 12 ends of the men's pairs. Another good bowl here from Howard. Is it going to have all the weight to get all the way? No, it's not. And call now from this lead from Barry McChrystal. Might be to change hands to the backhand and to see whether Murray Radojevic can get a touch on the jack and move it through the port in this final of the men's 75 and over men's pairs. And it looks to be on the wide side, shaking his head, and it is. Going to go by on the wide side. They'll have a look. They've taken, looks like two are coming out. Out comes the measure. It'll definitely be the Howard and Matheson combination who has scored on this on the second of 12 ends in the final of the men's 75 and over Bowls North Harbour New Zealand Masters here at the Birkenhead Bowling Club on the north shore of Auckland, where this event got underway on Monday, and they've been playing around the greens of North Harbour right through to today. And talking to Trevor Drake earlier on, he said what a fantastic event it's been, this inaugural event, been thoroughly enjoyed by all. Of course, they've had the advantage of having magnificent weather as well throughout the week. So just waiting to see what the board will change in but a moment, but it was definitely the combination of Howard and Matheson who have scored again on this, the second end. So Jack will be delivered by Murray Matheson. Just got the mat. I'm not sure what's going on. So we're about to get underway. The board will change in a moment. It was not sure whether it was 2 or 3. So Murray Matheson delivering the jack. And as I say, the other two matches underway. Lindy O'Callaghan and Christine Buchanan playing Judith Segar and Lynn East in the final of the women's pairs. That's the 60 to 74 women's pairs. And in the men's pairs of the 60 to 74 final, it is Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden up against Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas. So we'll just update you when the scoreboard changes. Watch this first bowl of Murray Matheson's break down towards the head, arcing towards the jack. Another very, very good opening bowl by the lead, Murray Matheson, as we see now. Barry McChrystal on his backhand, playing on this full-length head with a shot just sitting in behind the head. And you'll see it there, just great weight from the lead. Barry McChrystal just falling by ever so slightly on the narrow side. And this, we're playing the third of 12 ends, and here now is Matheson on his backhand, holding the shot just in behind the jack, playing with his former clubmate Bob Howard. I don't know whether he likes this one. I think it looks pretty good as it comes towards the head now. I thought he was on the heavy side, but a very, very good drawn bowl. Another great exhibition of leading here from Murray Matheson. He's certainly, the jack sitting right on the 2 metre mark, and he certainly hasn't been far away with any of his bowls to date. As we watch this bowl of Barry McChrystal's, again, looks as if it's going to cut by on that narrow side, and it does. So here's now Murray Matheson playing his third bowl. Short was McChrystal, and slightly under the centre line. I'm sure with the form Matheson showing, he'll capitalise on that. On this third end of 12 in the final of the 75 and over mixed pairs. And he's done just that. This bowl of Matheson's comes right back to the centre line and sits just but a few inches in front of the jack. You see the triangle there of the 3 blue bowls, all just sitting around the jack. Very good opening bowls, 3 superb bowls. As we watch this bowl of Barry McChrystal's, that's going to hit the better line, but that's just going to, was too much weight, just go by into the ditch. I'm sure Murray Radojkovic, they just have a quick chat on the way through. Barry McChrystal with him, because he's been 3 down continuously, end after end, in this, as we come now to the completion of this. Well, this is the skips play now on this, the 3rd end, and holding 3 shots is Bob Howitt and Murray Matheson. So here is Bob Howitt, was the founder of, one of the initial founders of the Rugby News here in New Zealand. On the backhand is Howitt, breaking down towards, coming down towards the head now. This is on a good line as well. Just going to go by, very close to get into the jack. 3 shots, has now pressure again on Murray Radojkovic on the backhand. 3 down as we play the 3rd end. No doubt they'll change the scoreboard shortly at the end of this head. There's a better looking bowl from Radojkovic, but again goes past on the heavy side. 3 shots to the Matheson-Howitt combination. So here now is Bob Howitt playing on his forehand. He's trying to get down the back to give some cover should Murray Radojkovic make contact with the jack. He's not going to be up, going to fall short. In fact, just run short of the Barry McChrystal bowl on this, the 3rd end of 12. Second bowl here from Murray Radojkovic. Arcing down towards the head now. It's on the arc. How's the weight? Is it going to get down close enough on the weight? Great attempt here by the skip, and he's turned it over, and that'll make shot. He was definitely 3 down. I'm picking, that's the shot. Bob Howitt going up to have a look. I think he'll try and play the bolt out of the head, going down to have a look at the head. Not sure whether there's a time limit here or not. Is there no time limit? So a stroll in the sunshine. And in the men's final, I can tell you now, it's the final between Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden up against Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas. 2 ends completed, or 3rd end about to be completed. And it is 1-1 on the scoreboard. And the other final between Linley O'Callaghan and Christine Buchanan up against Judith Seeger and Lynn East. It is 3. I'm just going to try and see the scoreboard. It's 3-0 to the combination of Judith Seeger and Lynn East. So Bob Howitt's been down, had a look at the head, and on the mat, pondering what he's going to play. The obvious shot is to play with backhand weight, searching through the front of the bowl, trying to get to the bowl. That's what he's playing on the backhand, trying to run down to what is the shot bowl. Looks as though it's going to go under the head, gets one of his own, and flicks that out of the head. That'll definitely be 1 at this stage to the combination of Murray Radojkovic and Barry McChrystal. They'll definitely score, well, unless something drastic happens on this, the 3rd end, as we see Radojkovic on his backhand, holding the shot, breaking down towards the head now. Looks on a fairly good line. Just has the weight, just going to pull up short of the weight. And it was a 1 to McChrystal and Radojkovic. And we'll update from that scoreboard in a moment. Bob Howitt will know what happened on that 2nd end. In a moment. Ends changing. 3 ends of 12 now completed. No time limit. You'll see the mat is sitting virtually on the 2 metre mark, and it was a 2 on the 2nd end. It was a 2 to the Matheson-Howitt combination. So after 3 ends, they lead 3 shots to 1. So here is Barry McChrystal in the other men's final. I can tell you now that it is Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden who lead Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas 3 shots to 1 after 3 ends. So the first bowl of Barry McChrystal, of course, the jack length has been shortened as was expected, a shorter end, and just can't quite see at the moment with Murray Radojkovic just obscuring that camera view at present. And here's now the first bowl of Murray Matheson's as it breaks down towards the head. It's on a good line. Was that Matheson bowl? Just as McChrystal now will play on his backhand, but the Matheson bowl was short as well. So here now is Barry McChrystal on his second bowl on this, the fourth end. And it just breaks away low underneath the centre line and it'll run away. The first bowl, Murray Matheson's, was also short. So here's the second bowl now of Murray Matheson's. Breaks towards the head. Going to finish jack level. It's about half a metre, jack level. So here, Barry McChrystal, he'll now play on his backhand. Leading 3-1 is that Matheson-Howard combination, 3-1. These 12-end finals. And we're watching the bowl now of McChrystal's ran into a short bowl. And it will be just the one that was set, knocked his own bowl in. Second shot, Murray Matheson asking the question of Bob Howard. And yes, just the one. So here now, Matheson will play on his forehand. And this is the final of the Bowls North Harbour New Zealand Masters men's pairs in the 75 and over men's pairs. We've already had the completion of the mixed pairs final this morning. As we saw that bowl run short as well, short and narrow under the head. Just ran into another of the Barry McChrystal bowls, but it'll definitely be Matheson and Howard holding one. So the final of the mixed pairs has been completed, and I'll bring you in our wrap after this round. I'll bring you that result as well. And then this afternoon, we will have the final of the men's fours and the final of the women's fours, and we will be bringing you coverage, live coverage here on the women's fours as I watch Murray Radojkovic on his backhand playing up towards the western end of the club as the bowl now breaking down towards the head, just on the arc but going past slightly on the wide side. Had a reasonably good weight. One down at the stages, Radojkovic and McChrystal. So here's Bob Howard on his forehand. Watching that Howard bowl, looks to be on a good line. It hasn't got the weight, not going to get all the way to the head. No, it won't. Pulls up around about a metre short. So Murray Radojkovic will certainly try and reach up on the backhand to what is the two bowls of Barry McChrystal, because one of those is which is second shot, trying to get a turn of the bowl into the head. And it's on its way now. It's going to get underneath it clean, trying to get underneath for the shot. Just got past the bowl, would be close to shot. No indication from Murray Matheson. Looks like shot to me from here. Of course, what we can see on the monitor can be so different out on the green. So the end, Bob Howard been asked by Murray Matheson to play on the forehand up to the shorter bowls. He's narrow and goes under the line. And we'll now see the last bowl played by Murray Radojkovic, and he'll play again down on his backhand, trying to reach to the improve on the position. Indication that he's holding one, looks out of the hand, looked to be narrow, and it is narrow. Great to see us mature age men and ladies having an event, these Masters events with 60 to 74 as the opening events, and then 75 and over, a great innovation, and everybody certainly seems to be enjoying, and of course been blessed with fantastic weather as we watch the bowl of Bob Howitt's just drift by on the wide side, and I'm sure that was a 1 to the McChrystal Radojevic combination, and it is, as we see Barry McChrystal with the mat. (3-2), Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden. 3-2. They lead Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas. So 3-2 in this final out in front of us. And another end about to be completed in the women's, and it's 3-2. 3-2 to Judith Seeger and Lynn East over Linley O'Callaghan and Christine Buchanan. 3-2 after 3 ends. So the jack's been delivered by Barry McChrystal. Just my apologies for not. 3-2. And so here to Barry McChrystal play his second bowl, trailing 3-2. On the backhand. As you can see, the shortest bowl of Barry McChrystal, his first bowl. It's the shot, it's the second bowl. It's on the weighted side. And we'll just go by. Murray Matheson's bowl was slightly on the high side and past the centre line. So here now is Murray Matheson on his backhand. Leading 3-2 is Matheson and Howard as we watch the second bowl on the backhand of Murray Matheson. Just going to break towards the head now. Just go past on the centre line, coming back towards the centre line, about a metre over the head. So Barry McChrystal will play his third bowl. He'll play on his backhand, holding the shot. Trailing 3-2 is McChrystal and Radojevic. As we watch, this is a better looking bowl. This bowl of McChrystal's as it breaks down towards the head, just going to get past his own shot bowl, and it does, and just sits low of the jack. Very good bowl there from the lead for Murray Radojevic, and that will certainly be shot. And when that means we see Murray Matheson, he'll change his hand, he'll go to the forehand. Definitely 2 down. He'll play on his forehand to draw under the bowl. Try and get down to that jack. Perfect conditions here at Birkenhead on the North Shore. And I see it go by on the narrow side. So, as the skips change on this, the 5th end of 12, with the Murray Radojevic skip side with Barry McChrystal leading from Mairangi Bay. They're leading 3-2 over Bob Howitt and Murray Matheson. And it's the McChrystal Radojevic combination who are holding the shot for sure. So we'll watch now Murray Radojevic on the mat, playing down towards the sea end, the eastern end here at Birkenhead. On its way now, it looks to be on a good line, this bowl as well. How's the weight going to be? Just drawing down towards the head, just going to fall under about half a metre short. Certainly on a very, very good line to get to the jack. Now, Bob Howitt, he'll follow that on his forehand. Of course, Bob Howitt has written so many sports books, rugby books. So he watched his first bowl. And runs into one of the front bowls and finishes short of the head. So here is Murray Radojevic playing his second bowl on the backhand, and this is the final of the Bowls North Harbour New Zealand Masters 75 and over men's pairs. And just going to break, lower the jack, be 2 shots to, maybe more, could be 3 in fact, to the McChrystal combination. Murray Matheson, how it happened. I look at the head to see what they're going to play. Looks as though they're going to try and reach through the head with weight or go directly to the jack. Bob Howard looks to be on the backhand with a lot of weight, and he certainly is trying to get down to the jack. Gets the front bowls and got his own, in fact. So that will still be at least 2, may even be 3 to the McChrystal Radojevic combination. And the indication from Barry McChrystal, just draw to where that blue bowl is, which sits about a metre behind the jack. And that would give them some cover. As you watch this bowl break towards the head, it's going to be a counter for sure. Finishes jack level and sits on one of the Matheson bowls. So here's the call now. On the draw now is Bob Howard on the forehand. There's a big bowl this, definitely holding, I would say, 3 shots is the Radojevic McChrystal combination. As the Howard bowl, in fact, is going to come up short. And the indication is that looks like 3, maybe 4. We'll see when that scoreboard changes in a moment, but certainly was the Radojevic and McChrystal combination that scored for sure, and they'll hit the front because it was certainly a multiple number. Bob Howard now just changing that scoreboard. Jack's been delivered as we play up towards the western end, and that was a 4. That was a 4 to the McChrystal Radojevic combination. They now lead 6 shots to 3. 6-3. It's this 12-end final of the Bowls North Harbour Masters Championships. We see this first bowl of Barry McChrystal's now breaking down towards the head, coming in, arcing towards the head. Going to sit right back on the centre line, goes by about a metre. And Murray Matheson, he'll certainly wanting to be get back to that drawing, that fine drawing which he had. And after 5 ends, it is Barry McChrystal and Murray Radojevic who lead Murray Matheson and Bob Howard by 6 shots to 3. 6-3 after 5 of the completed ends, as we just see Matheson draw, shot just lower the jack. What's his second bowl now of Barry McChrystal's trying to get down to the jack, she's got the jack clean, takes it back to his own bowl in behind the head by about a metre. Just reached the head with a fraction of weight, move the jack by half a metre. Definitely holding the shot is the combination of Barry McChrystal and Murray Radojevic. So we watch this bowl of Matheson's and can't quite see, just winning behind the head. Second shot. So it'll be 1 to the McChrystal combination. So here now is Barry McChrystal playing his third and last bowl. And Alex just confirming, Alex Reid, it is 6-3. It is. So here now is Murray Matheson playing his last bowl on this, the 6th at the halfway point of this final. And in the men's final of the 60 to 74 age group, I can tell you that it is Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden up against Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas. And it is 5-2, 5-2 to McClintock and Howden over Drake and Thomas. And in the women's final, which is out here in front of us, it is 5-2, 5-2 to Judith Seeger and Lynn East over Linley O'Callaghan and Christine Buchanan. And they've played 4 of their 12 ends. So back to the feature match out here in front of us of the Bowls North Harbour Masters final of the men's pairs, the 75 and over men's pairs final. As we see on the forehand is the skip, Mary Radojkovic. Just going to go past, definitely holding one shot is the Radojkovic combination. It's the jack level bowl that sits there. So Bob Howard now on his backhand. Bob Howard, formerly of Auckland, now living in Arrowtown. As his bowl is going to just fall short. And again, the called from McChrystal to his skip. Come down here on the forehand side. There's no danger. Just hold your green. Looks as though it's going to be definitely on the narrow side. And it is certainly well narrow where it needs to be. So now Murray Matheson indicating to Bob Howard, play with confidence, get under those bowls on your backhand with a bit of weight. You can sit the bowl out or a touch on the jack. Looks to be on a good line. Is it going to be lucky and get the slide onto the bowl? Great attempt there by Bob Howard, the skip in this final. Just went by. So again, we'll see on the forehand is the skip, Murray Radojkovic. School's out next door. I hear that children out here in the playground out to the side here. Looks a good bowl here from Radojkovic. Not quite going to get all the way. Matheson asking by Howard, how many shots is the bowl worth? I think it might be worth 1, perhaps 2. But Howard will come down, reaching on his backhand. That's exactly what he's endeavouring to do. In the all blue shirt. That's well under the line. I can see that. So, a further 1 to the McChrystal Radojkovic combination. They jump to a 7-3 lead. Interesting game because we saw the Matheson and Howard combination jump out to a 1 and a 2. And remember, on that first end, they were holding 4 shots, very closely drawn bowls. And Murray Radojkovic managed to get second shot. So the Matheson and Howard combination scoring a 1 and a 2. And the subsequent ends to that have seen the McChrystal and Radojkovic combination score a 1, a 1, a 4 and a 1. So they're certainly putting the pressure on the draw as we watch Barry McChrystal now play on his backhand. The jack is sitting right down on the 2 metre mark. Good opening bowl, draws down in front of the jack. Definitely 1. Bob Howard applauding the bowl of Murray Matheson's. Just goes higher the jack, but certainly on a good line. But definitely 1 to the Barry McChrystal. So here we see Matheson now playing his second bowl. He's playing on his backhand, trailing 7-3 as we play end 7 of 12. It's on its way, playing down towards the C end. which is the eastern end here at Birkenhead, and that'll be shot. Draws virtually just lower, just slightly lower the jack. Barry McChrystal now, he'll play on his backhand, trying to reach the draw inside the Matheson bowl. He's watching this bowl as it breaks towards the head. He's going to sit on the bowl. Good bowl. Touches his own bowl, rolls it in, and that'll make shot. In fact, may well make two of it. Just got a touch on his own front bowl and just moved it across the head. So Murray Matheson now on his backhand. Definitely one, maybe two down in the final of the Bowls North Harbour New Zealand Masters 75 and over men's pairs. And just sat outside what is the shot bowl of the Radojevic-McChrystal combination, as we see Matheson and Howard having a conversation mid-green, try and get out of this. You'll see here, you can see in front of you there, you saw the chart, the graph there. The combination of Howard and Matheson opened up very well with a 1 and a 2, and then we saw the 1, a 4, a 1 from the comeback, and you'll see now that they now have jumped out to a handy 7-3 lead as the skips change over. Thank you for those graphics. Very, very. We see this bowl of Radojevic's nestles in amongst what is the counting bowls. Here's now Bob Howard. He's the one under pressure on his backhand, trailing 7-3. 7-3 is how it looks to be narrow out of his hands. It's going to run underneath the head. Certainly, after the second end, this has certainly been a big change. 12 ends is final as Murray Radojevic on his forehand, playing down towards the eastern or the seaward end here at Birkenhead. Absolutely superb conditions. So on the backhand is Bob Howard now. I'm sure he's still down on the head. Looks to be a good bowl here. Needs to sit on something. Got a touch on it. It's a touch-up. It could be one now to the Matheson combination. I'm asking now from the skip to Murray Radojevic to play down to the blue bowl, because there's no doubt they've got the next three shots of the Radojevic-McChrystal combination. As we see on the backhand is the skip Murray Radojevic trying to get down to either the jack or the counting bowls. Going to get into their own and just going to go by. Got a feather on it. It won't alter. And Murray Matheson indicates to Bob Howard, we're holding one. Take it green, stay out on the wide side on this backhand, and to endeavour to draw inside. What is that jack level bowl there? As we watch the bowl of Howard's, has it got the weight to get down to the counting area? No, it won't. It'll be a 1 to the Matheson Howard combination. Now 7-4, 7-4 to Barry McChrystal and Murray Radojevic of the Mairangi Bay Club. Here was over here in North Harbour, and this inaugural Masters event got underway around the greens of North Harbour on Monday, and it's great to see such a tremendous South Island representation here from the Queenstown, the Central Otago area, Cromwell, Alexandra, Queenstown. Great to have them all here. Bob McCauley, I know, is here as well from Cromwell. So great to see them. So to the men's pairs. the men's pairs. Quickly having a look over there. And it is the Howden and McClintock combination who are leading that 7-3. As we watch this first bowl of Murray Matheson just slide by the jack, and in the women's final also 12 ends. I can tell you that after, no, I can't tell you, it is 7-2, 7-2 to Judith Seeger and Lynn East over Linley O'Callaghan and Christine Buchanan. As we play the 8th end of this final of the men's pairs, as the bowl of Barry McChrystal just draws down in front of the jack and will definitely be shot. Here now is Murray Matheson playing down on his forehand and leading 7-4, 7-4 as we watch this bowl of Matheson. Needs to get inside to the shot bowl, ran into the shot bowl, turned it right through the head, and will make 2 of it. The Murray Radojevic saying to his lead, Barry McChrystal, just stay on that forehand line, get the green, let the bowl draw towards the head. Green looks to run around about 17 seconds, breaking down. This looks a good bowl here, good reply here from the lead. It is, sits right alongside the jack. Does the bowl of Barry McChrystal's. So we'll see Matheson now will play down on his backhand, trying to get a touch on the jack, or to sit on what is definitely the shot bowl. And here's the Matheson bowl on this end, 8 of 12. He's riding this. Yeah, apologies for getting that obscuring of the head. We rely on the players' cooperation, of course, to be able to leave a clear vision for the cameras. And so our apologies for that. So here now is Barry McChrystal, play down on his forehand, definitely holding the shot. This is the last bowl of this, the 8th of 12 ends, definitely holding the shot, and that'll go by, come right down onto the centre line, the 2 metre mark, and he won't mind that with the skip Murray Radojevic, because he'll certainly be playing with reaching weight, one would assume, with Bob Howard, the skip for the Matheson-Howard combination, trailing 7-4, 7-4, as we play the 8th of 12 ends. Absolutely perfect conditions here as we watch Bob Howard, now of Arrowtown, formerly of North Harbour, on the backhand, trying to reach down to that shot bowl, and it's going to go by underneath the head. Just missed the line to get to that shot bowl. Certainly had the weight to dislodge it. Murray Radojevic, he'll play on his forehand and just breaking just slightly wide of the head. Just missed. It's in a good home though. Bob Howard plays that weight again. The Radojevic combination has certainly got a couple of bowls sitting very adjacent. So we watch this bowl of Bob Howard, but again that's going to be under the line and miss the target area. So Radojevic, he'll try and draw another shot here on the forehand side and put the pressure on the Bob Howard with his last bowl as we come to the end of 8 ends. It's on its way, just going to come back towards the centre line, but just be slightly low of weight. So Murray Matheson saying to Bob Howard, I think that's your best shot. Try and reach that on the backhand. It's on its way, this 3rd and last bolt. Bob Howard's got the hand signals out. Looks as though it's going to just, don't know. And Definitely one to Radojevic, and combination, and this will make two of it as it draws in towards the head, and it does, sits right on the centre line, and that'll make two to the Mairangi Bay combination, who now lead 9-4, 9-4 after the completion of 8 ends of 12.
Hold on, Brian. I'm on your camera now, and I'll let you know when I'm cutting off. So, Alex, you move yours.
And the men's 60 to 74 pairs final has been played as well out here as well, and that's between Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden up against Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas. And after 7 ends have been completed, or the 8th has just been completed, it was 7-3 to the McClintock-Howden combination. And in the women's pairs, should be another end completed. And it doesn't, not sure, they haven't changed the scoreboard. So the women's pairs has also been played. That's between Lindley O'Callaghan and Christine Buchanan of Central Otago up against Judith Seeger and Lynn East of North Harbour. And it is 6 ends gone, and it is 7-2 to the North Harbour combination. And in the men's, I can tell you it is now 7-5. 7-5 to Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden over Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas after 8 of the 12 ends. And the umpire has been called out to the Howard Radojevic game to check the length of the jack. They're not sure whether it is up or not, so they've called the umpire to check the length of the jack. And don't forget, this afternoon we'll be bringing you the final, the final of the women's fours, and we'll be bringing that live to you this afternoon. So the umpire has made his decision. And the jack is the back on the 2 metre mark is the mat. So this is the 9th end as you watch this bowl of Barry McChrystal's just going to go by, but too much weight. Jack, in fact, is sitting right on the 2 metre mark. So we've certainly got a full length head as we play in 9 of 12 with the combination of Barry McChrystal and Murray Radojevic leading Murray Matheson and Bob Howard by 9 shots to 4 as we watch Murray Matheson now on the backhand as we play in 9. The first bowl of Barry McChrystal's went into the ditch. It was too heavy. As we watch this bowl now of the Matheson, going to finish right on the centre line, but he's a metre low of the jack. So Barry McChrystal will try and make amends with this is second bowl. And he too is playing down on that backhand side. Looks to be on a good line. Just question the weight all the way. It's going to come right back to the centre line and just sit in behind the jack by but a couple of feet. Very good second bowl by the lead for Murray Radojevic. And Bob Howard giving a mark to Murray Matheson where to get to on that side of the head. On the backhand, and the white cap, the blue top, White's Morangi Bay shirt. So we watch this bowl now. Looks to be on a good line. Is the weight going to get all the way down? This is a good attempt here by Matheson. We'll just see what's indicated by the skip, Murray Radojevic. Nothing given away, whether it's a shot or not. So here now, Barry McChrystal playing his last bowl on this, the 9th end, in this sunny conditions over here at Birkenhead, with just a zephyr, just a slight zephyr of a breeze. And it's going to go all the way back down towards the 2 metre mark. So, repeat of the backhand is Murray Matheson. Watching this one closely, doesn't like it though. It's well under the centre line. It's going to run away. Could well have shot, but that is second bowl. It sits just outside the centre line. So the skips change over as we play in 9 of 12 in this final. It's now 8-2 to Lynn East and Judith Seeger, 8-2 after 7 ends over Linley O'Callaghan and Christine Buchanan in the final of the women's 60 to 74 pairs here at North Harbour, Bowls North Harbour New Zealand Masters, and in the men's pairs in the 60 to 74 age bracket, I can tell you it is 7-5 to Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden over Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas. So 9-4. The lead to Murray Radojevic. As you watch this bowl, Bob Howart's trying to get to the shot bowl, and he does and turns it over, and that'll make 3. Good bowl there by the skip. Ran into the McChrystal bowl, just sat neatly on top of it. So here now is Murray Radojevic on his forehand. Definitely 2, maybe 3 down. As this breaking down towards the head, needs to get past this front bowl all the way, and is going to. What a great reply by the skip from Morangi Bay. I'm picking, that's the shot, just drew past the front bowl and drew within about 16 inches of the jack to make shot. So here, Bob Howard now played a superb bowl with his first to turn 1 down into 3 up. And he'll now play on his backhand and try and get down to where, you notice, was not the smoothest delivery, but this is the 75 and overs, and I admire these guys and ladies who are certainly really enjoying this opportunity to play amongst their own. And Barry McChrystal having a good look over there to see who's got shot, but the bowler Murray Radojevic is on its way. He's definitely close to shot, if not shot, with his second bowl. As this is third bowl now, breaking towards the head. This is another good bowl. This will be shot now. Got a touch on his own bowl. Got 1 roll out of it. And that was certainly, yes, that's the indication as well from Murray Matheson. And Howard coming down to have a look at the head. He may well be going to try and drive those 2 bowls out. The shot's on to drive through the port and reach those bowls on the drive. And certainly could make a couple of shots of it. So we'll see. They'll stand there, going back to the mat now. And the scoreboard will change as well in that men's 60 to 74 pairs. And it is now 7-6, 7-6 to Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden over Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas. So Howard, with the grey cap, makes his way back to the mat, playing his last bowl. On this, the 9th end, certainly 1 down on the head. And trailing 9-4, standing, looking at what shot to play. I think it's still deliberating. He's been up to have a look. No, the indication is from surprising indication from Matheson is to try and draw the shot. I'm not sure whether he's really wants to do that, does Bob Howard. He wanted to attack it. Here he is now on his backhand, playing down towards the eastern end, and that looks as if that's going to be on the short side. Certainly is. He might have been better to try and attack that, as was his original ploy. So I'm sure that they've moved one out, whether it's one or whether it's two. But he certainly got a touch on the bowl, did Murray Radojevic, and you'd think that would have been enough to turn it in for shot. But Murray Matheson's got the measure out, measuring to her own bowl first. It's the bowl and behind the head. And now going to the front bowl of the Radojevic-McChrystal combination. That's close. That's close. So we'll see. We might actually see the umpire called here. Don't think Murray Matheson's going to give this one away. Got the measure going back to his own bowl. But the measure, Barry McChrystal was confident that they had the shot. So we'll see now going back to the and one to the McChrystal Radojevic combination, as we thought it may well have been. It's 10-4. 10-4, they now lead. And because in the semi-finals of this, we saw Howard and Matheson. They defeated Gary Lawrence of Auckland and Len Bilicic. That's how they got their way into the final after, of course, qualifying through their section play. And the Radojevic and Crystal, they beat Peter Signal in their semi-final. So that's how they've made their way here through to the final. And all close now in that other men's singles pairs final. 7-6, 7-6, 10-4 now. After as we play now the 10th end. As we see the bowler Matheson's just go by, the jacks just slightly low of the 2 metre mark, and the Barry McChrystal bowl went by about a metre. Park-like surroundings here at Birkenhead. As I look over towards the Birkenhead residential area, flags just getting a zephyr of a breeze blowing them through. For those who haven't been to the Birkenhead Bowling Club, situated just up the road from the Birkenhead shops, and it's certainly a club, a community club here that caters for all. It has got all the facilities here, a very, very active membership, and they certainly are a go-forward club, TAB based here. They've got, of course, they've had a number of very, very good players here. Leanne Chenery, who's now playing, of course, for Canada. Now living in Australia. Tony Grantham, of course, former New Zealand player. Mike Nagy, world champion in the fours, of course, a couple of years or 4 years ago in Christchurch. So a number of top players. Danny O'Connor, the late Danny O'Connor, a winner of 9 or 10 New Zealand titles. Also was a member here before his very sad passing. As a member here at Birkenhead. And another one of their iconic lady members, Carol Frederick, who won a New Zealand fours title, in fact, with Marlene Castle. Sadly passed away a few weeks back. Also a very proud Birkenhead member. And the work done here by Terry Moverley and Emma Swart are certainly two great ambassadors for this club in the work that they do here. In this very strong community-based club at Birkenhead. So we're coming down, skips change over, 10-4 as we play in 10. And you can see there that the McChrystal Radojevic combination. They have certainly owned the scoring. They scored on the first end and the second end, did the Matheson-Howard combination, and then they scored on one other end after that. As you'll see, the big four that was scored, and there you can see on that there the graph in front of you that they got a handy lead as I watch the bowl of Murray Radojevic breaking down towards the head now. Looks to be on the wide side. How far is it going to come back? It's got just slightly low of Jack, but would be holding the shot. That the bowl of Barry McChrystal's sitting out on the Jack level line. I'm picking would be shot. In fact, that bowl of Murray Radojevic's was dead on the draw side. 7-all now, 7-all. I can tell you that the final of the men's pairs, the 60 to 74 men's pairs, that's between Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden up against Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas, and it is 7-all after 11 ends. So here now is Murray Radojevic on this, the 10th end, playing down on his forehand in this final of the 75 and over men's pairs. After Bob Howard just drew the shot, but not to be outdone. There's Radojevic going to try and draw right to the Jack. Just fell outside. Great attempt by the skip. Howard, after drawing the shot, will come back again on his backhand, trying to score at least a 2 or 3 to get back into this game as the ends start to dwindle away. 12 ends, of course, and he got the Jack. Did Howard, and he's moved the Jack all the way back, and it's more than likely made 2 of it. I don't know whether that was on the drawing board, whether that was intentional or not, but he certainly got the Jack and moved it back to the Murray Matheson bowl. So here now is Murray Radojevic on his forehand, leading 10-4. I'm picking his 2 down as we watch this bowl. Coming down towards the head, just going to stay out on the wide side, and it won't change anything. So it'll definitely be the Matheson-Howard side who are going to score for sure on this, the 10th of 12 ends. So I'm picking they're holding 2 shots. So we'll see now. Bob Howard will play his forehand, endeavouring to draw a 3rd. Here it's on its way on the forehand. Body language tells me it might be on the wide and heavy side. Watching it now going down towards the head. Going to sit outside the bowl. In fact, just sat wide of it. And Jack's been picked up. I'm saying that was 2 shots. We'll see the scoreboard change in a moment as we come to the 11th of 12 ends in this men's 75 and over pairs final between Barry McChrystal and Murray Radojevic of Mairangi Bay. And they're up against the composite combination of Murray Matheson, who plays here at North Harbour, and the former North Harbour player, now of Arrowtown, Bob Howard.
Heading to you now, Alex. Brian, please change.
So we'll see the board. In fact, it was just the one it was. So it's 10-5. 10-5 to McChrystal and Murray Radojevic. 10-5 as we play the 11th end. So the first bowl of Matheson just comes up, lower the Jack, under the Jack high line by about 1 metre. So here now, the repeat from Barry McChrystal. Looks to be on a fairly good line. The question, how's the weight going to be? Just going to run low of weight, only by about 1/2 metre. So here now is the second bowl of Murray Matheson's on this, the 11th end. 11th end, 10-5. As you watch this bowl, again, it's just going to be low of green, finish wide of the Jack, but it'll be shot sitting Jack level, 1/2 metre. 10-5 after 10 ends. Here's now is Barry McChrystal on his backhand. The lead for Murray Radojevic. As it breaks towards the head. Looks a good bowl here from the lead from McChrystal. It is, sits right in behind the jack. And Howard immediately indicating that he's one down. So here now is Matheson on his backhand. 7 at 7 all in that other men's final. That's the 60 to 74. That being Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden up against Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas. And that's 7 all. And one end to go in that final, and it will, as we go into the last end, if I'm right, I'm just going to see that scoreboard change, and it'll be 8-7 to Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden. I'll just wait. It is 8-7 after 11 ends to Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden over Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas. And in this 74 and over men's pairs, playing end 11, it is the combination of Barry McChrystal and Murray Radojevic, who lead by 10 shots to 5, 10 shots to 5 as we play the 11th end, and it is the Radojevic and McChrystal combination who are holding shot. In this, the final of this event at the inaugural Bowls North Harbour New Zealand Masters, as we watch now Bob Howard play on his forehand. It's on its way. It's the Howard bowl on this, the 11th end, trying to sit on the shot bowl, and very fortunate, actually got a touch and a slide off the Murray Matheson bowl, moved it in between the shot bowl and the jack, and it'll make shot of it. Murray Radojevic play down, trying to get down to the jack or that counting bowl, coming towards the head now. Very good attempt by the skip, just went past right on the centre line. Only went by half a metre on the forehand is Bob Howard. Looks, it's going to question the width of this, has to get past the front bowl. It's not going to. Going to just run by underneath. And not to see what difference that it made, if any. So here now is Murray Radojevic playing his second bowl, trying to draw the shot, one down on the head, leading 10-5. As we'll see it towards the head now, it's going to be short, and ran into some of the short bowls. Definitely one only to the Matheson-Howard combination. And the indication from Murray Matheson, just draw to what is the second shot bowl. See if you can turn it through the head. If you turn it through the head and get 2 rolls on the bowl, could well make 3 of it. It's on its way now, the Bob Howard bowl. This is his last bowl on this, the 11th end. Just going down towards the head now. It's on a very, very good bowl there from Bob Howard, and sat on top of what was the shot bowl, and he's made 2 of it. So Murray Radojevic, what shot will he play? He's turned the mat over. This indicates he may try and reach it with some weight. Gone to the backhand side, playing his last bowl. On the draw again, on the forehand. Definitely 2 down as we come to the end of this, the 11th end. And it will just go by a great attempt, but just on the wide side. And that'll be a 2 to the Howard Matheson combination. And as we come now to what is the last end of this final, of course we've got the final and been played as well in the men's 60 to 74 age group, where we have Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden of North Harbour. They are leading Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas of Central Otago by 8 to 7. And in the women's pairs final, which is also the same age group, which is out in front of us, I can tell you that it is Lynn East and Judith Seeger over Lindy O'Callaghan and Christine Buchanan, and the North Harbour combination out to a big lead after 9 ends. In fact, leading 15 to 2. 15 to 2 they're leading. So Jack's been delivered, and this is the final end. In this final, and Murray Matheson, the lead for Bob Howard, playing down on his forehand side. And it looks a good opening bowl from Matheson's going to sit right alongside the Jack. Right on the 2 metre mark. You can see it there. So we see now Barry McChrystal on his forehand, following that the Murray Matheson, very, very good opening bowl, trailing 10-7, 10-7 trailing. As we watch this bowl's a good attempt here from McChrystal, just going to fall slightly lower the Jack by half a metre, but was certainly on a good line to the Jack. Murray Matheson now on his backhand. We'll try and repeat what he did with his first. It's on its way. The Jack back to the 2 metre mark. There's the line now. Another good bowl here from the Matheson, going to come right back to the centre line and sits neatly right on the centre line. And Murray Radojevic indicating to his lead, Barry McChrystal, come down here. Try and beat your first bowl. Looks as though it might be under the head, playing with weight to get to the Jack. And at the right weight, just missed his line by more than likely half a bowl. So holding 2 shots is Matheson and Howard, trailing 10-7 as we play the last end. And it's 8-7. Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden leading Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas, as it looks to me though that Drake, who already won the mixed pairs this morning, Drake and Lindsay Thomas, looks as though they're holding the shot on this, the last end, because I did see Bruce McClintock driving. So here now is his last bowl on the backhand. Change of hands from Barry McChrystal, trying to follow the Murray Matheson bowl into the head. Breaks down now towards the head, trying to get, what a superb bowl by the, with the last bowl from the skip. Rested inside on the backhand, right to the Jack, moved the bowl and moved the Jack out to the side of the ring, holding 2 with the Matheson-Howard combination. And of course they're trailing 10-7 as we play this last end. So magnificent bowl there by Barry McChrystal. His skip was delighted with that. He was very happy with that bowl. As the skips change over, and I can see the North Harbour combination on the drive. And they're shaking hands. So now we're looking 10-7. You can see the side of Matheson and Howard scoring on those last 2 ends, picking up 3 shots to get closer to the Murray Radojevic McChrystal combination. And I think the men's pairs has come to completion. The 60 to 74 age group mixed pairs, men's pairs, that's come to a conclusion. And the body language indication was that I'm not going to guess it, but so here now Bob Help on the mat, on the forehand, trying to reach up to the McChrystal bowl. Played a magnificent bowl with his first, trying to get to the Jack there. You can see it there. Definitely 1-2. The McChrystal Murray Radojevic combination. And of course, if we could move the bowl out of the head may well be able to make 3 of it. This is the last end, of course, of this 12-end contest. There's this bowl, another good bowl here from the skip from Murray Radojevic. And that, in fact, would more than likely be 2 shots. And is certainly making the task harder for Bob Howard. So Murray Matheson indicating to him, draw up, endeavouring to get the jack all the way back to the ditch. I don't think that'll give him 3. He's got to try and remove the 2 bowls. That appears to be the optimum shot. Hard to get to the bowls though. So here's now Bob Howard on his forehand, trying to get up towards the jack, or what are the shot bowls. This is the last end as it comes towards the head now, and this goes past into the ditch. See the stones. So watch now on the forehand is Murray Radojevic, definitely holding the shot, more than likely holding 2, leading 10-7. As this bowl, another good bowl here, may not count, but would more than likely Bob Howard, as one would expect, come to have a look at it, would have to play a magnificent bowl to get 3 to force what would be an extra end. Because there's 3 bowls now of the Barry McChrystal, Murray Radojevic combination that are in and around the head. And the women's pairs, which was out in front of us, has come to a close. And I'm assuming, based on when I last looked at the scoreboard, that would be a win to the North Harbour combination of Judith Seeger and Lynn East over Lindley O'Callaghan and Christine Buchanan. In the final of the men's, going into the last end, it was the combination of Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden up against Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas, and it was 8-7 to the McClintock-Howden combination. And we don't know exactly what happened there. They're off the rink now. The body language indicated it might have been the Central Otago boys who may well have got up. So, Bob Howard now, I'm sure he's going to have to play with a lot of weight, trying to dislodge. That's what he's doing. He's driving, in fact, on the forehand, trying to get to all counting bowls. Got one, got the jack, moved it out to the side. A great attempt by, they've shaken hands, and it won't be enough. And I think it's still 1 to the combination of Barry McChrystal and Murray Radojevic. So I can tell you that the winners of the men's pairs here, that's the 75 and over men's pairs at the Bowls North Harbour New Zealand Masters. The winners are the combination of Murray Radojevic skipping with Barry McChrystal of Mairangi Bay, and they in fact have defeated the composite combination of Bob Howard and Murray Matheson. The women's pairs, I can tell you the winners of that were the 60 to 74 age group, Judith Seeger and Lynn East. They're the winners over Lindley O'Callaghan and Christine Buchanan. And not sure about the winner of the men's, the final between Bruce McClintock and Walter Howden over Trevor Drake and Lindsay Thomas. But I can tell you our feature match, the winner has been found, that being Barry McChrystal and Murray Radojevic of Mairangi Bay, and they defeated the composite combination of Bob Howard and Murray Matheson. So this is Kevin Hickland at the Bowls North Harbour New Zealand Masters, and we'll be back later this afternoon where we'll bring to you the final of the women's fours.